And we're getting a little bit of a late start. I figure we'll play till maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. If anybody needs a break, I'll probably call for one in about an hour, hour and a half. But if anybody just needs to step away from the keyboard or anything, just let me know and we'll take a break.
So the rule is I can sell JoJo into slavery because he's not here, right?
He chatted with me. He is basically checking out. So at the end of the last session, JoJo Tane was investigating using kind of a seismograph type thing, investigating a cave system that seemed to connect to the mines beneath the town and led off to who knows where. And Tane slipped off to investigate that. We left Gafar in the bar speaking with a junkie who had some insights into a camp not too far out of town, maybe about an hour back toward the main city.
Mm-hmm.
And the junkie pretty much told him like that's where you can go like score some illicit goods, some drugs, and who knows what else. Pac was being very security conscious and making sure that the hinge on the gate into the mining camp got fixed. And seeing it fixed, she was satisfied that the town was now safe from any outside attack. And to recap the mining town, it's basically maybe somebody who is influenced by like Earth Old West type concepts, built just a little shanty town on the edge of the big strip mine. And if you happen to be in the Roll20, you can kind of see a picture of the strip mine there. Just up on the edge of it, there's a big shanty town. There's a crane that lowers down to pick up cargo in the bottom. There's a road that leads up next to that crane where these train trucks, similar to what you rode in on, but more open cargo container pullers, can load up with the minerals and head back out. And then in a enclosed, fenced-in area, about 50 workers, more or less, live. They've got a little bar where the prescriptions against alcohol and possibly other illicit goods are not so strictly observed. The town really seems to be supportive of Cardenas Company, who runs the town, and they get access here to more like a tech level 3, which is more like modern technology, whereas the planet itself is TL2, so they're stuck in a more of like a right at Industrial Revolution, maybe right before Industrial Revolution time frame. So you've gathered from the engineer on the way out here, like people like to work for Cardenas Company because like they can learn a trade that makes them rare and valuable back home. So you guys were exploring the town here, and meanwhile Naji was back in the main city of Hefir, and he had made contact at a underground kind of an old water cistern, water supply area. It's been turned into a hedonistic bathhouse. He made contact with Shariah, and she was going to introduce him to the Torch of the Heavens cultists. She wanted him to wait. There was some compelling reason that she was not able to immediately make it happen. In the meantime, while waiting, he learned about Pac making encounters with Gafar and Tani. He investigated or asked about Pac and was told by Cardenas Company that they knew who she was. They actually really wanted him, like, well, work with her, like bring Pac in, get close, let her join your op. I don't think Mike Naji did not tell Cardenas Company about Pac's mission, right? Didn't tell them about.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, and I just misspoke. Shariah is not the person that you had met. Person you met was Shalina. Shariah is the old woman that Pac is looking for, and Shalina is the person, the adult woman that you met at the bathhouse, and Arena is the child who you expect as a psyker. So after having established contact with Santos from Cardenas Company, and he said you need to keep Pot close, Naji raised Shalina on the radio again, trying to like accelerate the meeting. And while Shalina seems very willing to work with Naji and wants to be helpful, like for whatever reason, she's just unable to do it. I think we hand wave to the next day, basically the time that that the meeting is supposed to, or the communication about the meeting is supposed to be set. What do we find Naji has been doing for a day, trying to wait? You were smoking a little opium, playing your Space Empires game.
He probably got tired of waiting for her, and so now I am looking up, seeing what information there is about how I can like do pit fights.
Okay. Give me are you still indulging in opium kind of for a period of time while you're looking all this up?
Probably not. Like I probably have breakfast, lunch, shake it off, still no call, get tired of it, and start looking up how to where I can go in like the bloody mean pit fights.
Yeah, I think that maybe because of the Persian influence on this area, you don't find any like straight up like underground street fight, you know, or fight club type stuff. But what you find is a sort of gladiatorial arena. A lot of it based off like the old idea of the Persian immortals. They're kind of elite troops. There's a lot of iconography. Very few foreigners. You hear that like when people are telling you about it, they talk about their local favorites. And fairly quickly, even, you know, if you go back to Cueva where you had kind of made an inroad, it seems unlikely that a foreigner would be invited to take part in this thing, but it's not absolutely unheard of. You would need to find your way in. Where is it that you get some useful information? Like you make a contact with this person?
You know what? I'm probably going back to that Cuerva, actually.
So it's Cueva?
And
Okay.
so I'm probably talking to Marduk about it.
Okay. So Marduk, give me do you want to actually try and participate in the fights?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a connect check, and I think you could use if you want to like influence it by showing him how tough you are, and you want to do like plus con, or how agile you are, and do +1. You could connect with either of those, or else it'd be like basically a charisma.
No, I think it's just gonna be charisma.
Okay.
No, just a 6.
6. I think that's good enough that, you know, he's given you all this information, and he'll actually make an introduction to you. I think he can't leave Cueva, but he's happy to. He writes up a note that's in Farsi, and seals it with kind of a gloop of wax and a signet ring that he's got on. And he tells you, you know, take this over to I need a Persian name. Take this over to Mustak, and Mustak will see whether or not he can work you in. There's fights usually in the evening. You know, the entertainment starts around 5. Small audiences show up then, and as the fights go on, larger crowds show up, and the more famous local fighters will appear.
Do they do duels for honor or anything of that nature?
So my inclination is that most of it's unarmed combat. It's going to be a lot of probably a blend of like grappling and striking. But are you interested in doing something with like dueling weapons, or what's your interest in taking this?
Yeah, dueling weapons would be fine. I'm just wondering if you know, like they do honor duel type thing. Like if I can't get in with this guy, can I piss somebody off outside and get in that way?
Oh, I got you. Will they resolve? Yeah, I think maybe that's another. Maybe that's the crowd warm up, right? That's how they get people there. Is like interested parties want to witness an honor duel, like they'll show up and yeah, maybe that's like the small claims court of this planet.
Nice. Then I
Sure.
will head over there and start looking around for somebody to piss off.
That's going to be your initial approach, is to try and anger somebody.
Yeah, really talking to somebody is probably not worth it.
Yeah, tell me what you're looking for in someone to piss off.
Somebody big, like big in stature, because I'm like $150 soaking wet, and so yeah, and somebody who looks probably like not necessarily like an officer or super veteran, but just somebody who has kind of like who's at least standing out amongst everybody, like somebody who'll be noticed getting in a fight.
I think as you go, are you going to do this before you even introduce yourself to Moostock, or are you going to?
Oh yeah, totally. It's going to happen. I'm just going to accidentally piss somebody off on the way to giving this to him.
I think there's nobody that really draws your attention until you get to the arena, and as you're approaching, there's like a training in the yard. There are people kind of going through practicing moves. So think about like rehearsal for a professional wrestling. And you can tell like they're somewhat collegial with each other, whether they're friends or not, but they're all kind of working out together. And there's a big guy who's stretching on the side, watching them. And I think he catches your eye. Maybe he gives you kind of a shitty look as you go walking by. And he's rather large for a Persian. Think of like the Iron Sheik. I think he looks like the 80s wrestler Iron Sheik.
Like he looks like the total like stereotypical like Arabian bad guy. Good job.
Yeah.
Is he wearing no shirt but like loose fitting pants and a turban on his head? Because
I think and he's got like bandolier, like he's got a big empty bandolier across his chest.
Because why not? I mean, why wouldn't you carry around empty bandolier? Sounds good. Yeah, he sounds like a winner.
So how do you antagonize? He's giving you the stink eye. You're kind of walking around. He looks to you and he calls out something to a guy who's maybe 15, 20 feet away. And you've got just enough Farsi to understand that he's referencing some slur for a foreign dog.
Fast forward one to 1987, WrestleMania 3.
Nice.
I am totally going to try to knock him down using telekinesis. So that way it looks like he tripped. And then I'm going to laugh the fuck out of him and just call him a goofball and shit.
And are you wanting to do TK and hide that you're doing TK, or are you willing to do TK? Like, are you willing to be obvious what you're doing?
Oh, I'm totally willing to be obvious with it.
Yeah, then roll it.
I don't know what I roll though.
It's gonna be your it's a skill check. It's telekinesis. You commit effort for the scene. I think. Let me double check this. And I've got the wrong Stars That Number book open.
No any sport events in your country sold out, man. Right.
The Iron Sheik.
I think it would just be my Dex or Con plus my telekinesis, is what it looks like it is.
Mm-hmm. So you're at level 1, so you can manipulate objects as if with both hands and can lift up to 200 kilograms. So I think that's enough to like trip somebody up.
Yeah, and I can't do it to him yet. So instead, I'm just kind of like probably moving something like a rack or the bench he's resting on, kind of push it out from under him.
Yeah, he's sitting on a bench. You can try and throw that out.
Cool.
And you need to commit effort for the scene as your main action.
I've got more effort than I need, son.
What, you're trying to humble the Sheik?
That's an 8 total.
Well, now I'm trying to think, is this actually a skill check or is this an attack?
I'm not trying to hurt him.
Okay, I'll give you that. So yeah, in this case, you've got an 8. Yeah, that's enough. He's sitting there kind of stretching. I think right as he's finished, do you gesture in some way that lets him know that it's you?
Yeah, totally.
And your purpose in doing this is to antagonize him.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you dump him on his ass. The bench gets pushed out from underneath him. Maybe he's kind of stretched forward to retie his shoe, his sandal, and as he goes to sit back, you shove the bench out and it goes flying, about 10 feet in the other direction. Big plumes of dust off the dirt floor, packed dirt floor of this like open air arena. And he lands on his ass. And I think the guys out in the yard start laughing.
I totally am walking up to him with the scroll in my hand, like to ask him where Mustak is.
Is this Mustak?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I think this is Mustak.
Nice, even better.
Yeah. And he's pissed off. He's looking at you, and when you call it Mustak, I am Mustak, and he, I think he's speaking Arabic with you.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I was expecting you to be somebody who was a fighter in these parts. I was told to introduce myself to you, and Marduk gave me this as a letter of introduction.
He takes it, roughly looks at it, and he says, "Why would Marduk send you this way? What is your interest?"
As you can see, I'm small of stature, but I wish to showcase my abilities. And it seems that you all are the toughest people. Well, I mean, the fighters here are the toughest people, and I'm sure you can introduce me to them.
I think as you say that you want to showcase your abilities, he just starts laughing, and he says, your little trick with the bench, if you wish to take that to the field." He looks around and I think, is it him that you want to fight? You want to fight a big guy and kind of embarrass a big guy in front of the crowd, or try to?
Just somebody noticeable. It doesn't have to be him.
Yeah. I think he says, I've set out for too long from the field. I'll fight you tonight. We shall have some fun. The crowds show up in half an hour, and
Excellent.
at that time,
be careful where you sit down
and
or what you rest on until then.
he gives you a smirk. You can tell, like, in the back of his mind, he's gonna just teach you a lesson. He's not necessarily out for blood, but he thinks you're a rude little shit.
I'm gonna go get my ass kicked by somebody. I like this plan.
Now this is also like the day you're supposed to make contact. So think about what you want to do if you want to do something there. But I think we'll cut back over to what is Pak doing the next day at the mining camp, and where did Pak stay? There's some empty barracks, or there might be like an old hotel.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Okay.
And I want to say, what were you gonna say?
No. They've set up an old barracks. There's leftover rooms for the engineers and pilots and stuff that show up.
Cool. So I'm totally gonna Hawk's gonna sleep there, and then in the morning, she'll probably see where the elves are and figure out what they're doing. But I think the main idea is to figure out, maybe do some scouting to see if anyone has any whereabouts about the group that the old lady is working with, and see if there's any leads or if anybody's heard about that.
I think because like your characters don't know it yet, but the players and the audience, the live studio audience, has put together that like the camp an hour or so out of town is selling opium, and that's also like the main trade for the group that Mike's connecting with, and pretty sure that's the Torches of Heaven. So I think like we know that like Jafar has the information, knows that there's a camp near town. So as you kind of go searching for the elves, as you like to refer to them now, I think you'll come across Jafar. And where is Jafar in the morning when Pak comes across?
Let's see. Last thing I was doing was like carousing in the tavern, the bar, whatever it is.
And this is like the next morning, next
Oh.
next afternoon.
Yeah, I'd probably finish by then. So
Set the stage for Liz. What is Jafar doing as Pac like comes walking up?
what time is it?
10 a.m.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be awake by then. So he's probably all like, coiffed and groomed and sitting at a table. Like the rest of the place is all like, its usual shabby self. But the corner of the room he has been like swept and sparkly. And he's got like nice plates and a breakfast set in front of him. Reading
Nice.
the local equivalent of a paper with like a big cup of coffee with the steam coming out artfully.
Hmm. Nice. All right, so Pac walks in, and you notice that she looks a little bit cleaner, as
Yay!
if she might have showered. A little less dirty in the face. Her hair is kind of looks like it's been like smothered down, as if she's like been rubbing her fingers through it to try to make it look neat. And she points towards the coffee at your table and wants to know where you got it.
Oh, I just waved to. I don't know what the bartender's name is. I mean, I'm sure Jafar does.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think we named him.
They're buddies now, but like, hey, another cup for my young friend here. We have a carafe,
Right.
and just pour it into the cup for her.
Awesome. So where's the other one?
Mm.
I'm referring to the member. What's his
It's
name?
possible
Right?
I've sold him into slavery, but I think he's exploring somewhere or something. He kind of wanders off.
All right. What's the plan for today?
There's supposed to be a town of outcasts. Well, not outcasts. I guess they'd be like gypsies. But there's another nearby town here where all the illicit activities is,
Ooh, sounds fun.
and that's probably where the rebels would be basing. Now,
I like it.
yeah, I don't think it'll be that dangerous. I'm thinking they're planning on overwhelming the defenses by attacking with 52 people.
Wait, can I say that again?
There's 50 people in this town. So
Right. Okay. Great. So when do we leave?
I have somebody arranging transportation for us. We got to get like motorcycles or some kind of vehicle. How far away is this town?
Yeah.
So Sethi is the bartender, and he brought the coffee, and he's kind of hanging back. Have you already spoken to him about transportation?
Yeah.
There are some ATVs, and they're just think of like what we normally see for a little quad, four-wheeler with great big diesel engines, or no, maybe they're propane. They're propane driven, and they've got a small group of them that are generally used to run up and down into the mines to run supplies or take crews down there when needed. And they've got, I think they can spare one of them that would take 4 people.
Yeah. Let's borrow
you-
that. I mean, we should have like, we are like I am the company's troubleshooter. So, and she's with me, so we shouldn't have a problem getting, permission to use it.
And
find out who-
have you told everybody that you're with Cardenas Company?
Well, didn't the guys from the train weren't we like
Oh, true. I think they don't know exactly what your role is, but you're right. They did know. So yeah. Sethi's more than willing to give you the 4-wheeler, and the guy that you spoke to last night.
And I'm just awesome. So
The guy you talked to last night is not around. His name is Murad, and he is he's not.
Murad the strung out.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping it off somewhere.
Mm.
But he would be the one that knows the way.
Busy dying in his own vomit somewhere. Damn it.
Just to be a dick. Like, oh yeah, you guys have a clear way. He's dead. There's a map in his vomit though. His last words were to
Yeah, he drew it.
arrange the carrots and an arrow pointed north.
Well, didn't he give like this? I remember he said it wasn't that far away. It was like a couple of hours walking or something. So it shouldn't be like it should be like a half hour, an hour by vehicle.
Yeah, I think with the train and everything, with the vehicle, from your conversation last night, rough idea, an accurate idea would be that it's going to be an hour.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Do I think I should find him, or do I think I know the way?
I think you'd need a guide. I mean, he kind of waved in a direction that was like north by northwest, so you could just do that.
Does he seem? Well, yeah, but he doesn't seem like particular. I mean, he's like a junkie. He doesn't seem particularly reliable. Did I encounter anybody during the night that seems to be more of a criminal element that's not at the lower end?
Yeah, I think you did. I don't want to necessarily dismiss Murad as being unreliable. Like, you might not want to have a junkie along, but I think he was clearly the guy who's been to the camp, and like he slips away and goes there. What's the other characteristic you're looking for? Like, who's another person that we would find in the scene?
I'm somebody that would like be more. I mean, so you're describing junkies. All the junkies I know in real life are just like totally unreliable. It's like having Towley with you. You know, it's like, oh, is this what?
I don't think like he still holds down his job here. So I think in what we described yesterday or last week was he's like at the beginning of the downward spiral.
Okay, so he's could hold it together enough that he can get us there and not, you know, I mean, I could probably find my way back, but it's a desert, for God's sakes. All right, so let's go find him then.
Very good. And I think anybody who has a data slate, we've already established that Mike can pull GPS off the ship that's in the air. Yeah. So if you guys have data slates, at least anybody who's with Cardenas Company can connect there. And then I guess we'd want to figure out about POC. Do you carry? You don't have a data slate anyway. In your survival kit, you'd have like a magnetic compass, and you probably have it oriented, so you could roughly navigate with it. Because a check, but yeah, you don't have a computerized GPS map.
I have where is this?
You have a compad.
Yeah, that thing.
So I would say on that, like,
a lot of numbers.
you don't know where on the map the camp is, but you know, like, once you get there, you could plot the point. Yep.
Where are characters?
So, Pak, your idea was to find Gafar. Gafar has told you, like, yeah, like this one of the workers here seems maybe a little unreliable, but he knows, or he said he knows where the camp is. What do Pak and Gafar do about it?
I want to roll a connect, talk to the bartender, see if I can get any information from him about where this wonderful junkie man could be hiding.
Right. Now, you don't actually have the skill connect, so you're welcome. You can roll it, but it's at a -1.
Huh. I thought I did have it.
Maybe I don't see it on your character sheet, but I might be missing.
No. I think it was no. Forget it.
You can still try it. It's just a -1.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
And Bob,
I have been making all my rolls with like 0 modifiers, so go for it.
Yeah. So that's
9. So you have an 8. Yeah. Even if it was probably wouldn't be modified with Dex, it'd be like Charisma, but you still have an 8. So what is it you're trying to get from our friendly bartender, Sethi?
His name who spoke to us about taking us to camp.
Not
Put his name in chat.
Murhad. All right. So yeah, I want to find out where he is, where he could be.
Oh yeah.
And trying to get this day on a roll.
Murhad's his bunk is the third house over. He kind of waves out the door, and like you slept in basically guest quarters. Mm-hmm. Down past that was where the workers, like the folks that stay here all the time, live. He tells you which bunkhouse it was. Says he's second shift, so he's probably still either asleep or just getting up. You can find him down there. And then his eyes kind of narrow, and he says, "I don't trust that guy. I don't know what your interest is in Murad, but you watch out for yourself."
Well, he offered to get us to get us out of here to go to the camp, but
As you say that,
uh-huh.
he nods like, "Yeah, all right. So that's where you want to go. Yeah, he's the guy to take you."
All right, great.
And you can tell he's got distaste for the camp.
Naturally. It's the only vice that he's competing with.
True.
Okay, so I go back to the table and I tell, where are my names?
Jafar.
Jafar. Is that the name of a parrot? So I tell Jafar what I found out from the bartender, and I tell him, hey, I'm gonna go find this guy. And I get up and walk out.
Okay.
Pock's gonna scoop your lead to the camp, Gafar. What are you gonna do?
Well, scoop what she wants. Does she have a vehicle? I'm
What's the point of this guy? Because he has a vehicle?
I'm gonna go finish my I'm gonna go finish my breakfast.
All right.
I'm like, okay. Like, I found his name. Like, yeah, over here, this guy.
So do you have the keys? The keys to the 4-wheeler? Kind of spin around your finger. She walks off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She'll be back. Where's she gonna go? It's like, I'll run to the camp. I'll find out all about the vice.
What's Gafar's plan as Pock is walking out to go find Rod?
I very slowly and methodically finish my breakfast, and then, now assuming that these, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go get my Argus web. That's like a recording thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go set that up so it's see if I can conceal it on that 4-wheel vehicle. So I want to film. So when we drive through this town, I can kind of film it, so I can look at it later and see, like, man, it could be like 2 rebels hiding in that trash.
Nice.
I'll do that after I finish breakfast.
I think it's funny. Like you're trying the sneaky stuff, and Pock is doing the connecting stuff. That's funny.
This isn't really. It's not really sneaky. This is just more like,
I'm trying to conceal it. You're trying to hide it on there. So I'm trying to look at your skills. I'm looking at maybe you could try and use notice.
Okay.
To try and see, like, can you put it somewhere that's not very noticeable? Am I stretching too much there? But I think, if you want to roll notice plus wisdom.
Okay, notice plus wisdom. I go. Where's my wisdom? 0. Okay, so and my notice is 0. So I just roll.
And difficulty.
Space between.
It'll be an opposed check. I'll make a note of whatever you get here.
Okay. Actually, that's not Google Hangouts. I need to roll 20. There it is. Roll the dice. Where are the dice? How important do I think this is? I got my expert ability.
So you can roll it and then decide if you want to re-roll it, don't you? You just roll 3d6 for now. Oh wait, no, you don't do 3d6. You roll 2d6, and then if you don't like the roll, you can re-roll it.
Yeah, something I forgot.
And it's per scene, I think. So you're not going to use it again this scene, probably.
Yeah, so let's do that then. All right, so I'll roll 2d6 and roll. Got a 10. I think a 10 is good.
Okay. So you're hiding an Argus web on the vehicle, so you can kind of record whatever you're going into.
Go to the town and stuff, and because I'm presuming it's going to be kind of like a shanty town kind of deal. So I'll circle around it and look for a place to park. It's not crushing anything.
And from the description that Murad had given you, it's not even a shanty town. It's like a valley, and they've got some supplies and some bedrolls. He thought that you would be really, really welcome there. They probably would enjoy having somebody come entertain them. But for the most part, they're just kind of a group of farmers hiding out in the valley,
Dope.
spending hot, dusty days out there.
Hot, dusty days.
Mhm.
Long, dusty nights.
And yeah, so I think you guys are kind of squared away. And let's just jump real quick to see what Pac ends up doing with Murad before you would want to leave town. So Murad is asleep. I think he's wearing his boots. They're untied. He looks slovenly. He's kind of half under a blanket, fully clothed. Real threadbare, dirty blanket. I think to most of the others it would look pretty nasty, but Pac seems to have a pragmatic approach to sleeping where she can sleep or bathing when she can bathe. But yeah, you find Murad laying here, and you recognize him from the bar last night. You didn't really pay notice last night, but he was digging Jafar when Jafar was singing and playing the space sax.
Sex, yeah.
Nobody else in the room. I think it's just kind of an open door, like maybe a plastic sheet curtain to try and trap some of the cool AC in. There's an old unit ticking in the back wall, hanging through a window or a port just built for that. What does Pac do?
Well, she looks at the sleeping man, kind of like make sure he's still breathing.
Yeah, he's
He's okay.
snoring. He's snoring. He's probably drooling quite a bit. You probably see like the line of drool like collecting on the arm
Cool.
that
Go
is.
through his personal stuff.
Uh,
Dig through his bags or whatever kind of collection of personal items he has in the
give me a sneak plus dex.
sneak plus what?
Dex, and he's out of it. I think a 6 is an easy check here.
Deal.
Like this is going through his pockets in the pants he's wearing and everything.
Cool.
Yeah, you're able to take a pretty quick inventory. He has I think the first thing you find is like the cooking kit. He's got like how do they take this? How are you doing your drug, Mike? You were smoking it, is that right?
Correct.
I think he's got like a glass pipe and a little bit of like a Brillo pad type thing in there, like a little crack pipe setup that he's got.
Little glass rose.
Yeah, and he's got probably like 3 lighters, and he's so out of it. You're like actually trying, like 2 of the lighters are broken. I think one of them is a really nice lighter, and it's got somebody else's name engraved on it, and he's clearly stolen it. Then he's got one junky old equivalent to like a Bic. Just cheap pocket lighter that still works. I think you find a little baggie of what looks like tar, and you can assume is an opium. It's like a real oily mud wrapped in the corner of a little plastic baggie. You also find like change, and crumpled in with some notes is a crumpled up little like religious pamphlet, and it's got the emblem that we were looking at last week, the Torch of Heaven emblem. And do you read Farsi at all?
Probably not.
Okay, then I think you recognize at least the emblem, and on the screen there's like a red torch thing down below the strip mine. It's got that kind of emblazoned in the middle of it, and it's got some. I think the writing is very pretty, like the graphic layout of it is very pretty. It's something in Farsi, but because of the torch, you recognize it as being from the cult. But it's crumpled up in money. It's something he took. Maybe there's some handwritten notes on it in the back.
Okay.
He sketched something on there.
Look at it.
And were you hoping, you have a really good success there, were you hoping for like anything particular in your search?
Not really.
Okay.
Just anything that looked like somewhat valuable. I might pocket the lighter.
Okay.
And yeah, I was gonna see if you had like any like ammunition, guns, maybe like keys
Oh, you
to
know what?
something that
He has a little Derringer in his pocket, and I think it's like a 32 caliber. It's a small caliber, but it's like basically a TL3 type thing. So it's probably worth a lot on this. It's not worth much to you, but you're surprised to find it in essentially a low skilled worker's pocket.
Yeah, a little weird. Okay. So I grab his gun and kind of like nudge him with it.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of groans. And he get the fuck out of here. He swats his arm toward you and rolls back over and snuggles up and takes a few moments to wake him before finally turns. Are you pointing the gun at him as he turns and wakes up?
I'm like using it to wake him up.
Yeah. He I think eyes focus on that. You know, they swim around the room, they swim over you, they get to the gun, and then you see like the clarity coming into his eyes, and he goes from like protesting at being woken up to like getting quiet and then backing up against the wall. So you're in
Okay.
this basically steel storage container, row of 10 bunks in here, and he's just pressed up against a wall, trying to pull back. He's looking at the gun, not looking at you.
So I kind of wave the gun in my hand and say, "Good morning."
His eyes follow that barrel. Yeah, good morning.
Hi.
Who are you?
So I don't know if you remember, but we met last night at the bar, and you mentioned to one of my traveling buddies that you would take us to the camp that's near here.
He does like some calculating. You can kind of see it reading in his eyes. And he's looking at the gun. Give me a talk
Okay.
or maybe a notice plus wisdom because you don't have talk.
Mhm. Alright. Wow.
7. Yeah, so he's when you mention the camp, I think that kind of perks him up a little bit. And you see him, he's getting ready to go for the gun. He thinks he can grab it from you. He thinks you're a little bit distracted. And like he tenses up and he leans forward just a little bit, kind of gets his weight forward. You see his legs tighten up and he's just getting ready to jump for the gun.
Can I react to
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Like that's what your talk got you was like, or your notice was before he moves, you're like, yeah, he's about to do something stupid.
Okay. I cock the gun and tell him to sit down and not move.
Yeah, he looks up at you and says, "Listen, I didn't tell him nothing. I mentioned the camp, but I didn't tell him where it was. I didn't say nothing, man. Fuck." And he starts patting his pocket and he pulls out the pipe in the bag like he's about to load it up and take a hit right in front of you. And he just seems he's put 2 and 2 together and has decided that you've come to hear from the camp or from the torch.
Okay. What do I want to know from this guy?
I think let's have you have him at gunpoint, and we'll cut back over to Naji, who's at the gladiatorial arena. You've come and offended the kind of not proprietor, but the ringleader, the MC of the arena, and he has agreed to give you a little tussle tonight. We're approaching fight time. What has Najee done to prepare?
So, first of all, I'm setting up my Argus web where it can see the fight. Like I'm taking off my like robe or whatever I'm wearing and like putting it in such a way that it's filming it.
Okay. So
And
you're
I
doing like a
mess-
GoPro type image,
Yeah.
like from your perspective of the fight. Okay.
Oh no, like on the sidelines.
Okay.
Like my clothes and stuff. That way, like if I get like thrown out, hopefully they'll at least throw my clothes with me.
Okay.
And then I'm messaging everybody that hey, I'm about to get into a fight. So like, here's the arena address in case I die. You know, like you guys have my last mission statement. So there you go.
Oh my God.
And then I'm gonna go and throw down some aspirin at a bookie because I'm sure somebody has to bet on this somewhere.
Oh yeah. I think actually after find his name, after Mustak had left you, the first thing he did and like what you noticed, like he went and placed a huge bet, or maybe he talked to some other guys and go to place bets on him. So you see where he goes and see where the bookie is.
Place all money on Muskak.
So what does the bet look like? And then let's do a trade roll. Trade plus. What do you think?
I'm pulling out some, like I said, yeah, some of the medicine again. Actually, you know what? I got credits when I did the drug.
You have 100? I think
Are
100
drugs
credits,
allowed here? Because I totally would throw down all the drugs.
Roll me a connect to try and find a bookie that'll take it.
No. If it's not a social acceptable thing, then I'm not gonna do it. Like that's what I mean. You know, like if it was an actual thing. Yeah, let me roll a trade then. Bam! I'm good at this trade thing.
Nice. Yeah, so you're putting down let's say 100 credits of the coin of the credit that you have. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
And you got 9. I'm gonna say the odds are 3-1 against you. So you're standing to gain 300 credits if you're
Awesome.
the last one standing.
Okay. And then I am totally going to call Gafar, right? Gafar, what's your name again, Bob?
Gafar.
Gafar, okay, that's right. Cool. Hey, so I'm about to go and fight somebody here in a little while. So just an FYI.
Why are all those sweaty, muscular men behind you?
Yeah, those are the people I'm going to fight against. So if I don't message you in about 20 minutes, call Santos and have him send an ambulance by.
You know I'm still like 3 hours away by train, right?
Well, I didn't say for
3 hours
you
away.
to send the ambulance.
And I'm not sure where Toonson went. Tunis?
What do you mean you're not sure? You two guys left the mine together with Poke.
I don't know. He found something and he wanted it off. You know how he is.
Look at. Well, keep an eye on okay, is Pock around? Because they want us to keep an eye on her.
Yeah, she's around.
Okay, well, don't
I
let
think
her out of
she's
your sight.
I think she's trying to hook up with a junkie. I'm not sure.
Tell her not to worry about it. I have the stuff now.
Okay. Got the drugs covered. All right, good.
Yeah. Anyways, I need to go find some liquor, so I will be back. Or I will message you in 20 minutes, hopefully.
That's right. Yeah, it's always good to do drugs and liquor before you get into a fight.
Yeah. So okay, so now I need to go buy a bottle of some booze, and I'm gonna go start like drinking, and just kind of dumping it on me like I'm already drunk, and I'm trying to pretend like I'm not super drunk, but that I obviously have liquid courage.
Just it might not be something you remember, but it's pretty much a dry
Oh
town.
shit, that's
And,
right.
and you're welcome to do that, but you'd be seen as like even more of a foreign embarrassment.
True.
It
No,
might-
I don't want to do it.
I mean, you're welcome to do it, and if you kick his ass, then maybe that's even more shameful for him. But
No. You're right. I'm not gonna do that. Good point.
Let's go smoke some more opium.
That's only done
You
in
wanna get a
the
little
comfort of a hotel room, sir.
I think they have like something you can chew too. I forgot what that's called.
What?
There's some kind of opium thing that you can chew for like the guys that can't smoke.
I think it's quat, right? Isn't that what it is? I don't know. Anyways,
I've never
yeah.
had
So
the
okay, so I
benefit
go
of
find
opium,
moose
so-
talk.
I think
I stretch.
what are you kind of taking out there? Like you said, you set your gear and clothes in the Argus web where it can film you aside. Your shield is fully psychokinetic, telekinetic, so you don't need to have much gear. Are you just in like
I
skivvy?
have clothes, probably. That's about it. Like I probably like take off my robe because that is the Argus web. Put it like over a chair or something, so it's facing the fighting area. So that way it's on camera. And then yeah, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Probably have
So,
a
like,
few credits on me.
Pants and a t-shirt, like an
Yeah.
undershirt, and
Yeah, probably like the big blousey, like Arabian pants.
it's early in the evening, and like it's still maybe a couple hours before the big fights happen, so the crowds are fairly small. Is the Argus web set up to where you have like a crowd in the background, or where you have like a crowd by the microphone watching the fight? Do you want to see him or hear him?
Want to hear them.
So yeah, you have maybe the fighters are all kind of arranged in some pits. The ones who are coming up next. Your good friend here, Mustak, has arranged it so you're the first fight. He's gonna warm up on you, get the crowd really going, and then start the real fighting. And
So,
he's even announcing that.
So when we're around the fighters, or yeah, maybe when he's announcing it, I'm like, look it. Like for the past 2 days I've been here, I've been trying to prove myself to people. People haven't been paying attention to me. They haven't been listening to me. Like I'm being just very like aggravated that people aren't obviously respecting my ability in a fight.
Give me a connect.
And so like this guy.
You respect my authority.
Well, no, you're trying to get the fighters on your side, right?
And
Not-
also I'm hoping that somebody here will spread it to the girl. Like
Okay.
this guy's like going crazy, like he's trying to pick fights now.
Nice.
Yes. I'm good at this shit.
I think, yeah, you get some sympathy from the fellow fighters. Not all of them, but from a number of them. And I think there's one who turns to you and addresses you in English and says, "I spent 3 years off planet and came home, and they acted like I was a stranger to be invisible. I hope you go out there and show Mustak what you can do."
Thank you.
I think he
What-
says something that's not Arabic. He says, I think he says, may the mother guide your mind and the father guide your heart. And do you
Keep in
have any
mind-
studies of religion?
No.
Yeah.
I have no
I'll-
skill at it, so I'm gonna say no. Like,
All you know is it's not like anything from an Arabic sort of.
yeah, he has his own like little meditative version of Islam, but that's about it.
Yeah, you should keep in mind he was only off planet for 3 years, not born off planet. He's still in this damn pit fighting.
Yeah.
Trying to
Well,
prove
he's here
himself.
because he wants to be, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's still treated like a foreigner just because he spent some time away. So while you're talking to him, Mustak is kind of trying to get the crowd going. Crowd's half-hearted, going at it. There's some jeers.
What weapons are there
As
like
you walk
on the sidelines and stuff?
I think you see some people that are carrying basically blunted versions of melee weapons, anywhere from like an eskrima stick, something that's like maybe 18 to 20 inches long, and then things going up to like what are the big Q-tips, the pugilism sticks? kind of everything in between. But they're all I don't think they're foam rubber because it's basically wood wrapped with like a shitload of cloth and then taped down. So you could still hurt somebody with them, but you think these guys leave bruised, but probably not usually with broken bones.
You know, I totally don't want to die today, so I go and do I have one? Does anybody have a compad, anything of that nature on, like any kind of like Tech 3 or so?
It's so rare on this planet. Maybe there's some wealthy people in the audience. Is that what you're looking for?
Oh crap! Don't worry about it. I thought I had one, but I don't. I thought I had a Lazarus pack, but I don't. So don't worry about it.
I think, yeah.
It's just got better.
I like you preparing. That's cool. But I don't think they're going to kill you, dude.
Yeah.
Bludgeon you unconscious.
I think also, and maybe Najee doesn't know this, but just from a system perspective, like you're gonna have an armor class 21.
That just means he can roll a 20 on the first try, dude. That don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, yeah. So I look at the weapons and I'm like, oh, okay. So this could be why you haven't thrown off any off-worlders. You should keep the blades on your swords.
Who are you saying that to, Mustak?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see him kind of give you a big grin. He's too much of an old hand at this fighting for like small talk to really get him under. But he almost nods at your attempt and starts walking forward. And he is going to roll his initiative, and you're going to roll yours. It's plus Dex. And I think it's
2d6 or 1d20?
No, it's a D8. Let me just double check here. Yeah, D8.
That's what it used to be.
Okay, heroes go first.
Nice.
So he comes walking out, and did you take a weapon?
Probably as he's kind of did he grab something?
He's unarmed unless you took something. Like he kind of watches as you approach the middle. He's holding basically a short sword length. Just something that's a couple feet long. And as you walk out, do you have something in your hand?
Yeah, like probably because I'm such a little guy, it looks weird, but like a giant maul forms in my hands.
Oh, but it's your TK maul.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As you go walking out, he kind of grimaces, puts the sword back into his belt, a loop on his hip. But then you form that maul, and you see his eyes get kind of wide. Draws the sword back out. He maybe starts to reconsider what he's gotten himself into.
Remember, it's only little tricks. Mustak.
And he starts making his way toward you. Commit your effort for the scene, and you get to go first. He's basically walking to meet you.
Where is my effort? There we go.
And you basically get a move and a main action.
Yeah, no, I charge up and I almost anime style like swing around with this maul and slam it into the guy's skull is what I'm hoping to do.
He has an AC of 11, so you're going to roll attack bonus of 0, and your bonus with your TK is
I use
1.
my TK skill plus the Dex or Con, which are both plus 1.
Okay. Very good. So you're rolling plus 2.
Boom!
Nice. And your damage is also going to include Frey damage. Oh no, he's alone here, so Frey only works on others, right? Okay. Except, do you apply your Frey? What was your thing? You have Savage Fury?
No. Oh, no. I don't have that level of it where I can apply it just to anybody.
Okay. So what's your damage on your maul?
Same thing. Plus 2, I think. There's a plus 1.
Okay.
Double check. No, just regular damage. So probably 1d10 plus strength then, which is low. So 1d10 minus 1. Yeah,
You come out. What does it look like as you swing the small? Like he's walking to
Oh, like I said, it's totally anime style. Like I do like the full 360 spin
right.
really fast and just come around and like slam him in the face with it.
So I think he's raising his sword to block, and your maul is. I mean, you're gonna crush through his sword and slam him and knock him on his ass. He's not down yet. He's not dead yet, but you hit him fucking hard.
Oh, and because we can, yeah, I'm totally pulling my punch, obviously. Like I'm trying to knock his ass out.
Yeah. Yeah, you drive him back to his ass, and he looks at you with great big wide eyes. Didn't expect to get hit that hard. He kind of juked out of the way a little bit and maybe misjudged the range of your maul. Gets clipped hard. He's kind of scrabbling on the ground. Picks up the sword and just drives his shoulder into you. He's basically trying to like the old Goldberg spear. Goes driving into you and tries to hit an AC 21. Let me see. Oh, shit. He comes flying. He comes flying, shoulder lowered right into your midsection, and you get out of the way. Does he hit your armor, or do you dance out of the way? What happens?
Oh, he totally, yeah, like it's just my dex. Like I'm probably like, I'm gonna take this, and then I see him like pushing through like the TK shield, and I actually move out of the way.
So there's even that little bit of a burst where like you block him for just a moment, and then you dance out of the way, and he stops, then he slides forward like a quarter inch, and then he goes flying past you, and he rolls to his feet. He's fairly agile, he's fairly spry, but clearly did not expect to run into that. And he looks big-eyed at you and kind of yells out, like, what kind of bullshit is this? Not expecting
it's just little
you to wear armor.
Stuck.
And he's mad now, and he's going to try and kill you. What are you doing?
You know what? I go ahead and, like, as I see him getting angry and we're, like, talking back and forth, like, I think I probably go through, like, a series of weapons in my hand. Like guns and everything else, and then I finally like settle back on like I pull up his short swords, like 2 of them.
Okay.
And then yeah, like I bullshit him, and then I come back at him.
Are you still pulling your punches?
Yeah, for now I am.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. And I think the young man that you were talking to on the wall.
Ooh, totally miss him.
He cheers when you hit Mustak, and he cheers again when he goes flying aside. But now, as you come in with these pair of swords, I think he deflects them both with kind of a nice set of parries. He drives them off to the side, and the crowd cheers him on. As he turns to deliver a strike into your kidneys as he's kind of turned your back toward him, and does a really beautiful strike that would have laid most people out, and it just catches, is not able to penetrate your shield. And I think the crowd sees that, like, yeah, there's something going on. It's not just him. What do you do?
Oh, I turn around and yeah, like both of the swords come down his back.
Okay. Do you try and spin around behind him?
Yeah.
Give me an attack. Hit an 11 if you can.
Oh, this is good.
I think because of the one, I don't really want to do critical fumbles. But give me something narrative that happens to Najee. That's embarrassing.
Oh, I totally fuck up. Like I probably eat some dirt, and then I have to get up.
Okay, so like he
moves out of the way fast enough.
You've spun around to hit his back, and he just dances away from it, and you overbalance, and he's going to try and follow up on top of you as you're spitting dirt off the ground. And I think he lands on top of you and kind of rolls off to the side, and you're both now kind of on your knees in the dirt. It's only been like 18 seconds. He's huffing and puffing. There's like a cloud of dust. He's nostrils flaring. He looks mad. Eyes
Oh,
getting
I'm,
red.
I'm probably the same way as I regret like smoking, lighting up in the past 48 hours.
So how are you going to respond to him? You're both kind of kneeling in the dirt.
Oh, I I flicker out the weapons again and pull up just a big baseball bat, just like freaking 4, and like go to slam his head.
Okay. Just kind of spring up from the ground and move in. Nice. Yeah, give me damage. And you got more than 2. So yeah, you're able to knock him out. What's it look like as you kind of spring forward to this bat?
Oh, he's probably down on one knee, like breathing hard. I recover in time, come up with this bat, and just clock him in the back of the head. Probably a little bit of blood spurts just from the force of it, obviously. And yeah, I just stand over him, huffing and puffing. Kind of the bat flickers for a little while and then goes away.
What's your goal with the crowd here?
Oh, actually, I start looking at them again, and I start up the like, yeah, see, I can fight. Like I'm worth more than just just as like aiding people or just on the sidelines. Like I should be involved in this. Like blah blah. Like for them, it's probably sounding like, does he want to become part of the army? Like what? Why is he?
With that 10 connect earlier though, the young man, I think the crowd is all kind of pretty quiet. Maybe 1 or 2 people boo, and then the young man stands up and starts kind of like the slow clap bullshit. But pretty soon people get into it, and fairly soon, like it's in your head. Maybe at first it's like, oh my god, there's like this standing ovation. When you go back to play the Argus Web recording, there was only like 30 people there, so it really wasn't that powerful of a reaction. But you know that, like, yeah, the people applaud you, and this young man is particularly proud of what you have done here and takes note. And yeah, I think we kind of leave. He comes walking out to congratulate you, and I think he offers to if you stick around for after his fight, he'd like to treat you to a nice Persian meal tonight.
Certainly. I go ahead and I pick up my winnings and put 50 credits on him.
Nice. Now, real quick, one more thing. I'll let your trade be a determination of how well he does.
He does not do good.
He gets his ass kicked. That's okay. He's used to it. Yeah. So you watch him fight, and he takes out maybe makes it through the first round, and oh, you won. You have 300 credits, right? You won 3-1.
Yeah.
But you spent 50 on him, so you're at 250. Yeah. And yeah, he makes it to the first round and then gets his ass kicked on the second round and doesn't advance any further. Let's cut back over to the mining camp.
Oh yeah, you get the all clear signal. Like yeah, like okay, I made it out.
He survived. And let's cut back over to I think Bob. We left Gafar in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
No, you were, I guess, in the vehicle yard. There's probably some sort of like a motor pool.
Yeah.
Checking over, making sure the Argus web is not like obvious to anybody, and it's pretty well hidden. It's worked into the frame and things to where like people who aren't mechanics on a Tech World 2 planet, most people wouldn't have any idea what to look at.
Okay. So has Pac ever shown back up again? Or?
Okay, you want to wait and see what Pac is? Pac, you were in the room with the junkie.
Yeah, so from it kind of sounds like he thinks, or I mean, this is what you said, that he thinks that I'm like that he's in trouble for spilling information, and that I'm also from.
Yeah, you absolutely get the feeling that he has interpreted that you're here from the camp, threatening to kill him or perhaps ready to kill him for talking about the camp.
Awesome. In that case, I start interrogating him and like justifying his concern.
Okay. How do you
So I
go
start
about?
grilling him about
I'm curious about
doing.
your interrogation, how it looks, and what skill we can tie it to.
Okay. I would just, I mean, I think my first question would just ask him, did he tell the new people in the mining camp? And like, depending on what he says, and I'd also want to mention, like, ask him if he told them anything about, what's her name? The old lady.
Shreya.
And just
I
kind
think
of
as
like
you
see.
yeah, as you start asking about the what he's told the people in the camp, he starts saying, "Man, I'm doing what I was told. I've been getting and he names some names, and I don't have a list of Persian names available, but he names some people like down in the mines. I got the foreman. He's been smoking. Pretty much, he goes through a list of folks, and you get the strong sense that he's actually been like told to encourage some people to join him in smoking these opiates. And he complains that the bartender has been busting his balls a lot and keeps driving him out. And I think he even kind of going off of your comment, it's pretty clear like Sethi doesn't like the competition, or at least that's what Murad thinks. Is like people don't drink as much when they're stoned or loaded. But yeah, you get the strong idea that he's doing that. And when you ask about the old woman, do you mention her as an old woman? Do you call her Shreya? How do you?
No. Let me see how I would word this. I ask him if he's mentioned anything about her.
Oh, you just kind of
Like,
allude
not
to her.
Yeah. And like her whereabouts.
I think. Are you being kind of persuasive and deceitful, which would be like a talk, which you have a -2, or are you trying to threaten him with a gun? Maybe you could work that shoot.
Yeah. It would be a
That
intimidation.
wouldn't be shoot.
I mean, I've got a gun. I could like shoot some intimidation.
Oh,
Work it out.
notice helps you read other people, right? That's one
Okay.
thing. Searching, spotting, reading other people. So maybe you can roll a notice plus wisdom, and
Okay.
what this will do is kind of as he's lying to you, you can kind of cut through some of the lies if you're successful at. I think an 8. He's naturally deceptive, but he starts like her like who the fuck you talking? But you can tell he's lying. He's covering up some intimidation, and you work through that shit, and you see him get very serious and look at you and say, I haven't talked about the old woman to anybody. And he seems to fully buy that you're in on it, that you know things you don't know. He's like, I haven't talked to the old woman about anybody. I'm not that stupid. I know she'd know.
Okay. I want to try to figure out how to get a location out of this guy. Does anyone else in the camp know her location?
I haven't taken nobody out there. I haven't told nobody about it. That sax player last night, maybe I mentioned it, but I didn't tell him where it was.
Oh, I don't know if you like heard my question. I was getting at, I said, does anybody in the camp know about her location?
Oh, anybody in the camp?
Yeah.
Trying to think of what he would know.
Added, like, besides you.
Yeah. I think it's still going off of that notice, like when you say besides you, like you can tell he doesn't really know. He knows he's afraid of her. He's probably met her once or twice, but he really doesn't know how it's structured. You get the idea that he doesn't really know where she stays. That he's met her at the camp before, but she's not regularly there. Picture like the boss showing up to a remote location.
Right. Okay.
Surprise inspection from the old lady.
Oh, I'm scared.
You know what? He does say something though, because you have a good check. He does say when you seem disappointed by the answer, he says, "Yeah, but she checks in a lot. Like I've been there when she checks in. She usually, I think once a day she'll show up. You know what I mean? What's up?
I said, what time of day usually?
I usually go after my shift ends around midnight. I go out there.
All right. But don't spill any information, or I'll come back and I'll kill you.
Dun dun dun. So she looks really proud of herself when she comes walking out of that barracks, Gafar. She looks tough.
Mm-hmm.
I was really happy with my intelligence 9, charisma 8. Oh, yeah.
But you were supposed to bring him back to lead us to the camp.
Yep. And can I go get him?
Yeah, he's pretty pliable. He's due to work second shift. Like he's probably supposed to be going to work in the next hour or two, but he seems pretty intimidated by you as well.
All right. So I go back in the room. On second thought, you're coming with me. So I take him.
He's like, you smell the dope in the air as you go walking in. His eyes are all glass. He just looks resigned. God damn it.
How is he smoking if I have the only working lighter?
Oh, I thought you took the ornate lighter. You took the good. No, he's frantically looking for a lighter. You see him tearing up his room. There's the pipe he was loading while you're talking to him, sitting on the bed, and he's searching on the floor as you come walking in. And he looks up and sees you. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't even talked to anybody. You've been gone for a minute. I didn't do anything.
So I pull out the lighter and show him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, if you want it, you'll have to take me to the camp.
It's like a thirsty person looking at the only bottle of water, right? He needs that lighter. He's whatever. Yeah, we'll go. We'll go tonight. He's trying to negotiate with you, but he wants that lighter.
How about right now?
Give me I think here we're going to talk, and you're gonna be at a -2 on this plus charisma, so just -2 total.
Okay.
And you do get to re-roll once for whatever the time frame was.
Wow.
5 isn't enough. Like you say, how about now? And you can tell he's weighing the idea of
just take the succeed automatically. Just take the succeed automatically.
Is that the adventure? Just succeed automatically?
Right? Isn't it you can succeed automatically or succeed once per scene or get the reroll or whatever it is?
It's a reroll, I think.
Do it.
All right.
Intimidating
Once per day,
druggie.
reroll any failed non-combat check. Taking the better of 2 rolls.
Hey.
Okay, so you have a 7. So yeah, you talk him into it. You start telling how about now? You can have the lighter, and I'm gonna lose my fucking job, and then his eyes go to the pipe, back to the lighter. He picks up the pipe. Let's go. And he walks up to you, and he's reaching for the lighter.
And I'm just walking down the road with a lighter held in the air.
Carrot on a stick.
Yep.
It's a very comical dream if we weren't watching his life spiral down a drain. So he's hopping after you. Look, trying to grab the lighter. His shoes are untied. And he comes stumbling up. Gafar, You've got the car ready.
Mhm.
It's getting it's maybe around 11 in the morning, and the vehicle is fueled. All your kit's on it. Tani has told you all that he needs some time to check out the mine. I think he's maybe tells you he's also down there talking to people. And
Okay. So let's drive to this camp.
okay. Yeah, I think he knows the way. He'd like to smoke on the way there.
No, he's driving, so he ain't smoking.
Okay.
He can smoke. He can smoke in the car when we get there.
I like how this guy just like lights up as if it was a cigarette. Like, oh, I'm stressed. I need a cigarette. It's like, bro, you're smoking opium. I mean, I guess it's like the most appropriate thing to do when you're like stressed because it's definitely relaxing. So I've
Yeah,
heard,
Well, you could
but
be a
kind
funky.
of over.
it's kind of overkill. I have to. I grant you. Like, hey, let me just do a little bit before we go. That way I can not be able to do anything.
You
Yeah.
guys get out on the road, and he takes the road that the train, the large multi trailer vehicle brought you here.
Mhm.
And then after probably about 40 minutes heading north back toward Hafir, he breaks off the road. There's a distinctive looking, maybe it's a rock face that's been like struck by lightning. And there's like some of the sandstone has actually, what do you call it when the sand gets hit by lightning and turns into glass, like glassification? But yeah, there's like it looks almost like a tree of glass, the shape of the lightning bolt in the sandstone. And as he gets toward that, he starts watching the left side of the road and finds a little place where he can kind of slope down between some rocks. There's some trees out in the distance, and he starts leading you out that way. He's really distracted. As he's getting off there, he's getting kind of nervous. He's looking back, particularly to Pock, but to both of you, but particularly Pock. And he starts slowing down. And he says, "Man, I need I just need a little fix. I just need I need to make myself right before it. I just need a little bit." And he's like begging you all. It's kind of disgusting, right? Real pitiful. And his driving is getting really shitty. He's really paying attention to you more than the road.
Mhm.
And you guys have an opportunity to notice this as he's about to bust an axle on something with his five check.
I shake him and tell him, listen, you can't afford to pay for this car on your salary.
Give me a notice.
A notice. I think it's just 2Ds. 2D6. 7.
Yeah, you're able to kind of like snap his attention to it. And, he's pointed toward the camp. He's like, it's just right up there, and he stops, and it's right before you're about to run into like a small jutting rock that would have.
All right, I throw him in the back seat. I'll drive.
Okay. And I think I'm not driving now. Just give me the lighter. You said you'd give me the lighter. I just need a little hit.
No, it stinks. I'm not doing that with her.
That's cool. He is just fucking. He is a sad sack, and he's back there, and he kind of quits whining as you just let him know you're not putting him with the bullshit anymore. He just gets kind of sullen, and he's sitting back there, and you guys pull up. You got another 20 minutes, and I think Gafar, you notice as you're driving, maybe there's not enough traffic to like wear it smooth with a road, but there's like you start picking out where maybe like the pebbles have been brushed aside from repeated traffic. You just see like loose debris off on the sides, but there's kind of like a little beginning of a trail through it. And you follow it until you get to a point where there's maybe a dry riverbed, real wide dry riverbed that the path that you're on goes down kind of a gentle slope into the riverbed. And the angle lets you know you would kind of head north, and up ahead, maybe 2 miles, the riverbed turns pretty sharply, and there's like a big rocky overhang over the edge. obfuscating, obscuring whatever's on that side of it.
So they're like built under that rocky underhang.
Yeah, I think he even told you it was kind of a camp in a valley.
Right.
Picture
Alright, so
like if they were holding Burning Man out here, it's about that permanent of a structure.
Okay. I'll go slower once we start to actually see what looks like the camp, because I don't want them to start shooting at us.
I think.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go up to like where you're in sight? Like they would see you, but you're too far away to shoot, or are you gonna try and sneak up once you get?
No. We're gonna start to go slowly up to them, right? I'm gonna tell them. I ask, what's his name? Is there a password to this thing? Mohad?
You see him look with fear at Pac, a little bit of confusion and fear, and he says, "No, there's no password."
I take out I take out the lighter and kind of shake it at him, and then put it down, and then grab the gun and cock it.
Yeah, and he's not afraid. Like he's afraid of you doing that, but he just kind of like he's wondering like, how the hell have I gotten here? Like you clearly know about this thing, but he wants to know about a password, and maybe you don't know, and he's starting to like realize like he doesn't know who the fuck he's with. He's
Mhm.
starting to wake up to how bad it is. And
Wow. We're really like fucking this guy over.
Nobody's gonna deal to him now.
I know. Poor guy.
You know how hard it is to connect on a dry planet.
Luke,
In the distance,
sink ships.
Gafar had asked about passwords and things. There's not even like a security perimeter. As you're approaching, you kind of get around the bend, and up ahead you see there are some tents, and so far as there's like some like wooden poles with some skins or canvases draped over them, and then there's some little caves cut back into the overhang. You see a few crates sitting around, mining camp supply crates, the same, basically they're Cardenas company.
Right.
Some big 55-gallon drums of water, a couple of them like laying on their side, like clearly discards pushed off to the side, and a couple set up for potable water, and maybe one for cleaning. There's maybe a dozen people. There's not that many people standing around, and most of them or all of them now are looking at you, and you see young folks, probably teens into 20s, men and women, all wearing kind of the common loose-fitting garb of the folks in Hafir.
All right. I'm gonna take out my my phone, my com phone, whatever they call it in this game, and hook it into the vehicle stereo system, and just have it like playing some nice, some nice mellow jazz. So when I pull up to them and roll down the window, they can hear it. And I'll go and I'll speak to whoever looks the most alert out of the group.
Let me. I like this, and let me just try and figure out with you real quick. Are we looking at a perform or a talk to like? Lay it out smooth.
Well, we're doing the perform to like let them know. What I'm gonna do is just show up and be like, and try and find out where. I'll go. I heard that this was the happening spot, but there's like nothing here.
So perform includes otherwise put on a convincing or emotionally moving performance, and you're just trying to make him like, this guy's cool. Like, don't question it. It's all right that he's rolling up with like Murad scared shitless in the back, and he's a stranger.
He's a junkie.
The Fonz just showed up. The party's about to rock. Yeah. So I think roll me a perform plus charisma.
Okay. What's my charisma? Where's my sheet?
Difficulty 8, because they're pretty suspicious. They've got some shit going on here.
Yeah, where is my sheet? Hang on a second.
Your charisma is 2 and your perform 0.
Okay, so plus 2. Should I raise that?
That's the difficulty you needed, so that's a success. As you're doing that, they are going to get a chance to try and see the Argus web. You had set the difficulty at 10.
Yes.
With that success earlier, and I think they're going to get a penalty because they're TL2 group and not really known to look for. And so, like, they scan the vehicle, they scan you, and what are you doing over the the stereo, like the PA system on this vehicle?
I have music from my phone, like playing some of the music that I would normally play.
Is it something you've performed?
Yes, and
Okay.
and I lean, and I'm leaning out the window, like, hey, I heard that this would be where we would find like entertainment and excitement and things we couldn't find in the whatever the hell the trade town over here.
You get the strong, like you look at them as you say this, and like they know that they're not where you find entertainment and like the happening place, but you make them really want to be. And they all kind of smile and nod, and like one of them, a young woman, moves forward. Her name is Anna, and Anna moves forward and kind of nodding her head, and she looks back and says, "Yeah, oh, moose stock, yes, yes, welcome, water, food, come enjoy." And she's speaking in kind of a broken. Oh no, wait. What languages do you speak, Bob? Do you speak any?
Everything that's common. All the common languages in the sector.
Oh yeah, so she's speaking in Farsi to you. That's her natural tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, she's welcoming you to, and I think she says, "Come sit by the fire," and gestures, and the fire, like she says hearth, I think, and gestures toward the kind of center of the camp where there's some of those crates are set up, and maybe some of the young folks are kind of put at ease now, and they're going back to sit down. Maybe a game of cards. Couple people go back into the caves.
Okay. Pup, you can watch more odds. Keep him from stinking up the vehicle.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So I'm gonna, grab my saxophone and walk over to the fire and talk and connect with the disenchanted.
I don't want to babysit this guy. I want to come with you.
Well, just keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
You're gonna bring him up with you? Like
I was about to say, just bring him up and babysit him. It's still good.
Yeah, I'll just take him with us.
Yeah.
Start letting him smoke, then you really don't need to do very much babysitting.
Yeah, you're right. We should just let this guy smoke.
The smoke, just set him on fire.
Yeah. His life's already on fire.
So as you come up, they start stoking a fire. There's some, I think they have to break down some of the old crates, and they build them up. And they don't build a huge bonfire, but they build a small fire. There's a little bit of smoke going up into the sky, but nothing too big. But like it hadn't been burning when you were pulling up because you would have seen it. There's something very ritual. Think of like a Japanese tea ceremony or something. You can tell like them building a fire for their guests really matters to them.
No.
So it's not like in a barrel or anything. It's like an actual campfire.
Yeah, like on bare ground. They do it often enough. There's like a scorch spot, and there's maybe some of the rounded rocks that have been eroded down in the riverbed, piled like in a ring, and they've got it contained in there. But yeah, not like a big blaze, not a trash barrel fire or anything.
All right. So, I talk to them and, try and connect with them and try and find out why they're here in the middle of the desert, what they're doing, and how exciting their lives are. And they have cable.
And what are you doing, Pac, as he's engaged in this conversation?
Can I roll to like notice? I want to see kind of like the socioeconomical status of these people, like how primitive they seem to be, like how far gone on heroin they seem to be, like.
Give me the notice check and add wisdom.
Okay.
Okay. You're able to pick up kind of as you're watching. You can tell that I think you probably don't speak Farsi either, right? And that's so far the language that Bob's engaging them in.
I think I would be able to pick up some words, but like maybe not fluent.
Not fluent, but you can converse and kind of follow along.
Yeah.
Just did blitz Farsi.
I'm trying to get how it is that you can kind of determine. I think from like looking at their hands, like they all are kind of workers. I've got notes here. They're all wearing different kinds of like clothes. Like they're some of them are wearing like basically like denim and work boots, but they're all in disrepair, like probably hand-me-downs or cast-offs from the mining camp or Cardenas company or an agricultural farm somewhere. Some of them are wearing more of they're probably silks, but they're not in the sense that they're really expensive, but just like a lot of the clothes back in Hafir, the main city, are silk or that kind of a nice cloth. There's maybe a couple of the folks that kind of go back into the cave and back. I think one of them has like a little black powder, like an arquebus pistol, where it can't even hold a load. Like you'd have to load it up with powder and a slug before you could shoot it. But one of them has a really beaten up old like 1911, like a 45 semi-automatic. The food crates that are scattered around, some of them come from Cardenas Company, some of them come from different purveyors there on Hafir. And what you're really getting is like it's a very big hodgepodge, and they don't have like a steady source of supply, or they kind of are making do. They're almost like a mendicant, like a group of beggars, and you get a real strong sense like they're pulled together by their faith. Like you're expecting to find a cult out here, and this is kind of what you'd expect to see with a cult who is not like really wealthy. They're out here for something. They're not out here really working. They're not the farmers. They're not like out here tending to a field because nobody's out doing it. You didn't pass any fields on the way out here. They're out here for some purpose other than settlement. And the only thing you can think of that's nearby is the mining camp.
They obviously aren't surviving just by selling this one junkie opium.
No, yeah. And they haven't been here for like so awfully long. Like it's all, propped up tents and the food's still in crates and things. Like there's no store set up or.
Interesting. So what do they tell you? Like I said, I'm talking to them and being entertaining and
So off
can they
perform, you set them at ease. They're engaged by you. They're kind of enjoying the banter. You play a little bit for them, and I think it doesn't take too long before Anna reaches down into one of the crates and pulls out a pamphlet and says, "I have a story I'd like to tell you also." And Pock sees the same thing that Murad, the little pamphlet with the red torch on it. He had thrown it in his pocket and made some notes on it. She pulls out a couple of them and hands them to each of you, and she starts to go into a story. Let me pull up my note. She's speaking about. I think she even goes on to talk about the torch of the heavens. Very clear in naming it. She tells you that the mother and the father watch over them and provide for them. They are working to bring back the bounties of this world beyond. They have heard stories of places, of far stars and peoples that live around them. They stand vigilant to make sure that that people here and on Halia and people at Far will always stay warm against the encroaching darkness. And they go into this really strong religiosity. Like she goes from being kind of cool and in awe of you to being like a preacher in training up on her pulpit. Really getting into, and you can tell like it's some practice speech. Like you've also known this from seeing like, on your cruise ships and stuff, like the stand-up comedians and orators. Like she gets into her kind of speech. And if you guys don't stop him, Murad definitely makes a connect from one of these guys and starts smoking while you're there.
Let him smoke.
Yeah, he's not going to be. There'll be less trouble if he's wasted.
And I think something she goes off and she repeats a couple of times that passivity leads to chaos. she makes this point a couple of times, and you just look at how like lethargic Murad gets once he's allowed to smoke and kind of relax.
Mhm.
Clearly, they're encouraging him to use this dope, but they're going into this like you need to stand strong, you need to participate in life and keep people
Don't
safe.
do what he's doing.
Yeah, they're clearly dope peddlers of a bad kind with this antithetical
Well,
message.
the number one rule of being a good, successful dealer is don't use your own product.
Mhm. And I think she has a very striking resemblance to the young woman that Mike had met. Like the audience would recognize probably a younger sister. And like they have the same birthmark on their face. And I think it's maybe a cosmetic thing. And she also has a head covering. It's like a woven into her hair. And she's just really kind of going off on this. You guys feel like taking a real quick break and then we'll jump back to Mike?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's take
Sounds
a
good.
5 and then we'll come back. And I'm good to play till about 10:30, which is 45 more minutes. Is that good for you guys?
Yeah, sounds good.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm good with
We'll
that.
be back in 5 minutes. Shit. Mike, you shouldn't have split the group 3 minutes into the first session.
I like to say the group split me.
All right.
Like I knew exactly where to go. Everybody else was all like, "Oh, we want to go over here."
So, Mike, I was having a conversation the other day, and somebody asked what the startup cost is to start a bar. If you want to do like just a small little neighborhood bar, license, stock, like 200 grand. Is that too low?
Like a full liquor
Full
bar
serve-
is what you're talking about.
Yeah, full service bar. Something
Well,
like Simon Says type size.
I want to say that it's 10,000 for the permit with us. Then I mean rent and all that. I mean that just depends on where you're going to put it. That could be anything from $500 to, a few million for the building or whatever, however you're gonna do it. But yeah,
Yeah, I
then
think
for
like renting a building, not buying. So yeah,
yeah,
few
then for
thousand bucks.
stock, probably you can probably get away with about. I mean, just depending on once again how big of a bar you want, what you want to serve, but you can probably get away with at least 20, 30,000
Oh
is
wow,
what
I
you can
thought
get
it'd be a lot
away
more.
with starting off. No, I mean, just depends on like, I mean, what you want to have available. Like, I mean, if you want to carry 20 different types of tequilas and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, are you just gonna have your well tequila and then your top shelf tequila? You know, that kind of decision.
See, I was figuring that like the booze would be the single biggest cost, but I like furniture and glassware is probably more expensive than that.
Yeah, glassware would be a big thing. Furniture, not too bad, I don't think.
So 100 grand, you could get started. I mean, you wouldn't have a building; you'd have to be renting at that point.
Yeah, like I would say 100,000. You're looking at probably like a pretty bare bones. Like you're not going to have pool tables probably for 100 grand. Because period, any building you go into, you're not. I've never seen anybody who just walk into a building to start up a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
This was perfect for a bar, unless it was built as a bar first.
I mean, but I mean, even then, you do paint. You want it to look
Yeah.
brand new still.
Yeah, true that.
So you're going to touch up the tile. You're going to touch up the paint. You're going to touch up the walls. You're going to redo the light fixture. I mean, you're always going to have some kind of cost. And then, like you said, like all the equipment and everything that has to come in with it. I mean, that.
Training staff and
Yeah. And then, I mean, like refrigeration. Refrigeration is a huge one. Like, how many refrigerators are you going to have? Then you need to cover your electricity bill for the first month or two at least, which is, I mean, because of all the refrigerators, the AC, you're looking at like anywhere from a $3,000 to $5,000 electricity bill for some of these places.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's still a lot cheaper than I was thinking, just to,
Yeah.
to get off the ground.
But yeah, I'd probably say like 100,000 is kind of your minimum
Mhm.
for starting any kind of liquor bar. Now, if you want to go with a beer and wine or just a beer bar, oh shit, dude! Like, oh shit, we can get you in and out for like maybe 10 grand,
Oh shit.
maybe 20 grand. I mean, really, it more depends on it depends on completely, because totally, like, I mean, you know, I mean, especially if you want to just do like a rock bar, like just, you know, some rock music playing in the background, your music services, you get the stereo equipment up, and then totally you get, for a beer bar, you can totally get away without using a draft system. So you just do bottles or cans and you just do ice, and you ice down all the beverages.
Speaking of ice beverages, I just heard Liz pouring whiskey, I think, in the background. I think that's what it sounded like.
Boring. I just sucking it right out of the bottle.
You at least need to be classy and use a silly straw out of the bottle.
Do I look frilly? Do I see
It's about spirit. You're about
that would be a suck on some whiskey. We have the Black Penny, which is an all beer bar. Which is a nice kind of worst nightmare, but it's really popular. And they have, you get like really like novelty beers from all over the country. You can find there because it's all bottle.
cool.
Yeah, here in South Texas, we're just getting a few of them nowadays. Like we've just had a few breweries open, a few craft beer places. We have Roosevelt's. We have
That grain
what else do we
to
have?
glass.
Yeah,
is
grain
really
to glass. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few nice places here, but
Yeah, I heard that
very
Texas now has like wineries, which is just crazy because you don't think like luscious earth to grow grapes in Texas.
Yeah, we have a shitload of wineries in the central region of Texas, and then we even have a couple of them down here in South Texas, which is even more crazy. But
You can't make
apparently,
wine out of mesquite.
yeah, which is apparently though the thing is that when you look at a lot of Spanish areas, they have a very climate similar to ours, and so you get a lot of this Spanish. I think it's black grapes or something like that is the kind that can be grown down here.
And it's not terrible wine. Like I've had a few bottles.
Yeah.
Today.
Decent. Today I've had a few bottles. But
Very
yeah,
good.
I'll be ready to play in just a minute. I'm
Okay.
gonna go through my.
Well, I think we can get started because we're going back into Mike's scene, and I think you're sitting somewhere with. Did we name the fighter that you met?
No.
Do you want to come up with a name, or do I have to do that? Do I have to do everything?
You have to do all the like, dude. Just watch this. Persian names.
I've got it. It's we already using too many of those.
Amir. Bam. Done.
Here, bam. Alrighty. So Amir got his ass kicked in that second fight, and you saw him fight the first one, and he looked good. He looked real good. Second one, he just looked kind of distracted. Didn't throw the fight. Got his ass kicked. He's got kind of a black eye and a split lip when you're helping take care of, or, when you meet him up after the fight. Yeah.
While I'm waiting for him, I'm putting on my robes and everything, and I start replaying at least the audio from the Argus Web, like during the earbud or something.
Okay. Yeah, and I think you had it near the audience, so were you also picking up Amir?
Probably, yeah, the fighters in general. Probably, yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Let me see real quick.
I probably tried to put it near the fighters, though, or people who looked important. It's a 360 thing, so.
You hear him. Oh, no, you had a really quick fight, right?
Yeah, it wasn't very long. But I'm talking about before, while we were, talking in the ring, and then, there were times where we talked to each other and pushed away. So it was probably a minute fight total, though.
Okay.
But
so you hear some chatter, but then when you pull out the psionic maul, and when it's clear that you're protected by something, some energy, you hear the crowd kind of gasp, and you hear Amir. He basically says an equivalent to hallelujah when he sees this, and I think he is kicking ass in that first fight. You're listening to the reaction, and something's distracting him. Is he distracted by you? What's happening in the second fight when he's?
Does somebody walk in? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's maybe what it is. That Shalina that you had met at the bathhouse, she comes walking in, kind of looking for you, and as she's approaching, coming toward you, that's when he turns. He's even winning that second fight, and he turns to look at Shalina, and as she's walking in, he just gets sucker punched, or he's dropped his guard. He gets knocked down, kicked a couple times in the ribs. The fight is called. He loses. He picks up his gear bag and comes over to where Shalina is standing. Do you also approach her as he's getting his ass kicked?
No, I'll wait until he talks to her.
Yeah. So they briefly confer, and she's looking to you. He's kind of nodding, telling her something, and she's looking at you kind of with a shrewdness, like a what do you call the cattle auctioneers, looking at a side of beef, and she waves to you, gestures to you to come over.
Yeah, I pull up my equipment, or I pull actually I don't have anything, so I just go over.
Amir tells me that you had a interesting fight.
Yes, well, I wasn't doing anything anyways, so I felt that I should come up with something.
He says that you took that sack of shit Mustak and drove him to the ground.
He underestimated me.
I did too, I think. I hear your frustration. I understand that this wait has been intolerable for you. It was out of my control. I can only do what I can do. But we do have use for someone such as you, I think. We have been attacked, my friends, my family. We were attacked, and I think she says yesterday or the day before. It's basically the day that your friends left town. She says we were attacked. A brother was killed.
Oh God! We're right over the people.
A brother was killed. Another and my sister hurt and left to die, to scorch on the bones of the earth. They're safe now, but these are dangerous times. Perhaps your coming was a blessing. Either way, we have someone. She wishes to meet you. She wishes to meet you soon. She asks that I take you to her
Tonight?
and I want to do some magic hand waving to. I want to give you guys the opportunity at least to get back together so you can interact with each other easily in the same
No,
scene.
I need to go off world and meet with a contact.
Then
I need to go see Santos.
let's jump 7 years in the future. You can meet with the old woman. But I'd like to basically wave it to where you can be showing up about the same time that the other group's there. We don't necessarily have to have you show up at the same time, but
I'm doing so good by myself, though. I think they're just going to slow me down.
but yeah, she's ready to see you now.
Okay.
Do you have everything you need? We will be traveling out of town. It will take some time to get there.
Let me stop by my hotel and grab a few things.
Shall we come with you, or do you want to meet? And she can tell you like the gate out of town that you'd meet at.
Either. Like, I don't care if they come with.
Yeah, if you don't need help, we have some things we can prepare.
Okay.
And we'll be
Then
here.
yeah, and I'll go and I start texting them that like I'm heading somewhere else. And if she kind of gave me any indication that they were people from outside, blah blah, or we're going somewhere outside, then I will like let all of them know like I'm heading to where you are, or like kind of you don't know me if we see each other, that kind of thing.
Yeah. As you go walking away from her, and you search like on your map for the gate, and she probably doesn't even know you have this technology available. You can tell like it's the gate that you'd take if you're going to here. It's the same one that their truck went through probably.
Yeah.
So you know you're at least going the right direction. And yeah, you get the message. Well, no, I guess. I'm trying to think if we want to kind of stick to the times that we've got. This is kind of the evening when Bob and Jafar and Puck are at the camp already. Would you two answer like after having been there for an hour or two? Would you answer calls or not?
Yeah, answer a call. Why not?
Yeah, you're sitting there
Yeah.
talking to her. She's been preaching. I think it hasn't gotten too uncomfortable that you're able to kind of bring her back into conversation. So, but you've been there for a little while, and your datacom or your compad
Yeah. So
alerts you that there's a call coming in. So, Mike, you can talk to Bob.
yeah, I probably put Pocken on it too. Like I'm guessing I have her information now too. And so I pull. Or do you have a compad, Pock?
I have the survivor kit.
That does not include a compad. You need a compad.
Did you spend
Yeah.
all your credits, or do you have any left over?
I think I have like 100 or something.
No, that'd be enough for a compad.
Great, buy one.
You can take one, or you could have had it stolen or otherwise lost. You could have sold it for drugs. You problem.
Why are you, just because what? I don't look as clean cut as you.
You should have sold it for soap.
Listen, I'm gonna be. I think I'm gonna be coming toward you guys soon. We don't know each other, so don't mention it. Don't mention to anybody like that you know me. We'll try to secure a someplace we can meet after we confirm.
Wait a second. I have to like when you call. There's your ringtone.
Asshole calling. Asshole.
How I know it's you.
calling.
I have to take this. Hold on for a second. Go ahead.
I would have you know, sir, some people consider me a chosen one. Does anybody consider you a chosen one?
Asshole calling.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
No, so yeah, so just let both of you know about that, though.
You mentioned that they were attacked. Somebody was killed. 2 were left for dead.
True. Good job, by the way. You officially killed off.
Did we mention that?
Apparently, during your joyride, you managed to kill off some of their upper people's relatives.
Nice.
So I don't know if I'd be bragging about that to anybody.
Did we kill 2? I thought we killed 1. I think we killed any of them. Actually, I thought we ran. I thought
Oh no, there was
Ran
a
over
child.
and then you shot it and blew it up.
Oh, I killed them.
No, there was a child that was pulled under the wheels of the truck and crushed to death. And then there was a guy that got injured and a young woman that got out of the way but got injured.
Well, how did this happen? I know this was.
It was a session before you showed up, and basically JoJo's character Kane had discerned that there was like he got some radio chatter on his scanner that like, oh, here comes the truck. Like when it gets here, blow up the rock to stop the truck or hit the truck or whatever, blow up the rock. So he took over the vehicle and he like ran off the road and went right through their ambush. And because you're playing heroic level characters, you get fray die even if you miss the enemy. So he had missed. He didn't do a very good attack with the truck, but he still got to deal fray die, and he did 5 points of damage, which I determined was enough to kill a child and injure the others.
What was it?
So kids are in the call. I mean, the child wasn't like 2. The kid was like 11.
He was carrying the ammo bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2-year-old would have been ridiculous. Then he would have felt bad.
Actually, Mike has also seen a little girl, about 8 or 9, I think I said she was. That's clearly some sort of psychic. That is
Did you
part
kill
of
her yet?
No, nobody's
No,
taken her out.
because
Just
I don't kill people
She's on the list.
not the Santa list, the Santos list.
until I tell Santos that to like level an orbital strike at somebody.
So what are you doing at the hotel, or are you just kind of getting away from them and make a phone call?
Both, and then grabbing the drugs. And
Okay.
My other gear, I have survival gear and such.
So you had the Cardenas company pick up the drugs from that locker and deliver it to the hotel where it's available for you. And you want to actually transport those. They're big enough that like it's gonna be like maybe a big army duffel, like a big bag full.
Oh, you know what? Then I probably I took them out of the bus locker and I put them in another one.
Okay. So are you not going to carry them? Are you going to bring any supply with you? Because I know you were partaking.
No, I'll just carry my survival kit. I have survival kit with rations, like a basic go bag type setup.
Yeah. So as you get to the city gate, then you're all prepped with the stuff that you need to have on you. You find they're gathering up, and there's a stable at the edge of the gate. I imagine the other team drove right by it, and it didn't really register because you don't go to many planets where they have like livestock as a major transportation option. But they have a series of I think they're using sort of like donkeys. Yeah, I think there's basically what are by all intents and purposes Terran donkeys, and they're loading up a small train of them. Amir is there, and Shalina's
How many days
there.
will it take him to get there?
How many what?
How many days will it take him to get there?
Oh yeah, it's gonna take a while. We won't role play it. We'll hand wave it, but they're loading up. I think like six donkeys with packs of like food and water, and they're going to be walking and riding them out. And so it's Shalina, it's Amir, and then it's one guy has a splint on his leg, just like not a cast, just like a splint and bandage, and a woman who's all bruised up, and they look pissed. And Shalina is like speaking soothing words to them as you come walking up, Naji.
I'm going to go ahead and ask for their names and
You
greet them.
motherfucker.
I totally did that on purpose.
You name asking son of a. And so I am
I'll
going
make
to go with,
everybody in the camp.
Genesis.
Why, yes. Thank you, waiter. Can I have your name, good sir?
Her name is Genesis, and his name is Nasir.
And what do you call the beautiful mounts you have?
This one is Mike. This one is Bob.
I don't-
Um,
What is this?
That's Stinky. Her given name is Liz.
Their given name is Liz. It's good to meet you all. I'm sorry for your loss. Shalina, yeah, Shalina told me about it.
They're pretty sullen and silent, and I think you can tell they're uncomfortable with this foreigner. They didn't get a look at who did this to them. They just know that they represent Cardenas Group, but they're pretty uncomfortable with this foreigner unless you're trying to make like inroads with them, which would be maybe a connect.
Actually, I'm going to try to use survival, because I have survival, so I'm going to try to use it to rig up my own mount and everything.
Nice. So you're going to demonstrate proficiency.
Yes.
Yeah, roll against the 6.
And it's not a connect or trade roll, so I'm going to fail. Total.
I think as you're kind of checking the straps on the donkeys, the donkey that you're going to be leading, Nazir comes and kind of brushes you aside, and maybe doesn't think that you're going to understand it, but in Farsi he.
If you ride the donkey like that, the donkey will be riding you.
Yeah. He comes up with some insult that's some traditional thing, just to mean like you're wet behind the ears, and like kind of relays some straps on the donkey, and just brushes you aside and treats you as if you're kind of incompetent, and that starts some bickering with like Shalina. Starts like, Nasir, be nice to our guest, and like there's tension in the group now, based around like half of them don't want you there and half of them really want you there. And she actually drops some references that you don't get. Like she speaks too quickly in Persian, but Nasir snaps in a line. Like you can tell that you've just missed something.
Get it? My Argus web.
Oh yeah, it sure does. But because that's coming off of a 5, a dog was barking in the background when you play back the Argus web, feeling super smart.
That's fine.
But you do hear them giving you the nickname of Donkey Fucker.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea of having you all roll up while everybody's at the camp. Do you guys want to have that last scene together where everybody kind of comes together, and then we'll need to figure out how to get Jojo there?
It's been like 2 days at this camp for them to get here.
No, I think like he left the night before, the night that you were talking to. I'm trying to play with the time.
We hadn't gone to this camp, and it was when he hadn't had that fight yet. We were at the camp. We finished the fight.
What I'm trying to do is not have like half an hour where you and Liz just hear me talk to Mike, and then half an hour where Mike listens to me talk to you guys. I'm trying to get you all in the same scene. Yeah. So we could play with the time to where like he left the night that you were talking to Murad and all that, and like he's showing up after you guys have arrived at the camp.
Okay.
Or we can do it.
After I've learned all their names.
You've been there all night long learning names. I arrived the next morning.
What, your cousin Ahmed and your brother.
Please give me your family tree.
They've also,
It's a hobby of mine.
offered you a haircut and a change of clothes.
Is this, and I've drawn like family trees on the interior of their in cursive Saray.
They're offering me a change of clothes.
No, Bob is slowly being
Oh.
incorporated into the cult while he learns their names.
Oh, okay.
No, I think just for the sake of getting you all into the same scenes,
well,
I'm
I can be
suggesting
there the next morning, so they get to finish up their stuff that night, and then I'll be there. We left in the night, and so we travel all
you
night long.
guys. Would you guys stay the full day? Or well, I guess let's in Mike's scene of like you're wandering off into the desert or
Yeah.
not desert, like the Badlands with these folks leading donkeys into a cult area. They think it's going to be, I think, like 12 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And we cut back to where.
Is there 12 hours
Jafar-
worth of entertainment to be had in this little camp?
Well, that's what I'm saying is I don't know that you'd stick around all day, right? But we get back to the scene where you all were sitting around and Anna had been going off on this spiel. Not Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Anna. Anna is going off on this little bit of a spiel.
Mhm.
And
What does her brother, your name, sir? What does he think about?
he hasn't earned a name yet. None of them have earned a name yet.
it's Fight Club. You're not good enough to earn a name. Only in death do you get a name.
Only in death.
You know, you do have like the D&D name generators that you can just hit. Just keep.
Oh,
that
I have
page.
I have a spreadsheet full of Persian names. I just don't have it open right now.
Oh.
I'm feeling lazy. But yeah, I just from Donjon, I think is where I generate a lot of names. But
Shut these.
the other thing is if we name everybody, that means I have to try and remember everybody's names.
Well, you just write it down.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I did.
Way to blow reality.
I wrote Anna. I wrote Mohad, junkie. Anna, girl at camp.
Yeah, I have something similar. I have Anna at the camp.
Yeah, girl at camp. I mean, I can't really. I don't know anything else about her. Oh wait, I knew. I take that back.
She's fanatic.
Facial birthmark.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, she has a weird
A
birthmark.
cosmetic birthmark.
Good catch.
Facial birthmark.
Head covering, ornate head covering.
Is it really ornate though?
It's a nice. Everything else is bedraggled, but these are beautiful silken scarves woven into, like, plated into her hair.
Bedraggled.
That must make it really hard to wash.
Mhm.
These are my kind of people.
You are one of the stinky tribe. Welcome.
Yeah, Burning Man. This really is like Burning Man though.
They bathe at Burning Man. They have showers set up.
Ah! Really? You think they all bathe at Burning
I
Man?
didn't say they all bathe.
Bathing is
bathe.
an option.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I
dry.
mean,
Super dry out there though. For the
They
most-
have giant tents. Everybody gets to bathe together. Like I was listening to some guy talk about his experience, and he's like, "Yeah, like there's just a giant tent, and you can just all go in there and bathe, but you have to do it with 30 or 40 other people.
Wow.
Like-
what's the
Like they just
problem?
have like fire hoses playing, like, or spraying everywhere."
Yeah, you just go in there like, you damn dirty apes.
I think in
So-
American cultures they also do like steam baths and things also where you just sweat it out. Loofah,
Mhm.
Shower.
Mm.
But yeah, what do we see you all doing there at the little strike
I'm
camp?
trying to think of how we entertain ourselves for 12 hours.
You don't have to stay there for 12 hours.
Can I like sneak away and go exploring?
Find interesting rocks in the desert.
Bob is
Yeah.
a very not Bob. Gafar is a very attention-grabbing character. Like folks are really kind of drawn to him, and like maybe between watching him and Anna, there'd be opportunities to slip away. So maybe wisdom and sneak, or Dex,
Maybe-
Dex and
maybe-
sneak.
Maybe though we can start communicating and tell him like, "Hey, you keep it up. Like,
Distract
I'm going to
him.
sneak away and see what I can find."
Actually, yeah. that's a freebie. Would you ask Bob to help distract them?
While you go in. Camp?
Probably. Probably not. I've.
You could speak to me in whatever language you talk on, whatever crappy planet you came from. I'd probably speak it.
Yeah.
Speak to me in
think
Trash
so?
Monster. Speak to me of trash.
'Cause I think because what were the rules in the old system, Mike, for aid? He rolls, and if he's successful, adds 2 to your roll. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
So
I
if
can't
Bob rolled a perform plus charisma and succeeded, then Liz would get a +2 on Pac's sneak roll.
Okay, so with the debris around me, I form a arrow that I'm trying to. No, I'm not doing that. It's my trash monster. With all
There's something I could use as a primitive lathe.
Or if
so
there
I
was
could-
only some high-tech thing that I could call and text him on in a language nobody else here speaks.
Is it really a phone? Like, can I just text him on this strange
Yeah,
technical?
your Compad is at least as advanced as a smartphone, but
Oh,
you're also there with him, and I think you guys would probably share your native language, which the locals probably don't speak.
Okay. Well, I don't want it to like. I don't want to draw attention that I'm like trying to speak to him. So I like kind of say it really softly, and I kind of like lean in and say like, "Hey." Yeah.
Like, oh, I got a text from her. Hang on.
Bobby.
What do you mean you're sneaking away?
It's like a whole paragraph I write back. K.
I
So-
love you, Mom. Okay. That's my favorite.
Yeah. So I entertain them. I start playing a song.
Are you okay with me sneaking? I guess so. If you're gonna help
Yeah. Sneak around, do something. We got 12 hours to kill.
me too.
Yeah, when she started, we start talking about this. She was talking about off-worlders, so I start talking about the stars and stuff, and I tell about how dry their world is, and I sing them a song about from my planet, which is like islands and oceans. And
So you sing some Billy Ocean music to them.
yes,
And yeah, you give a huge bonus. You are captivating the attention, and let's see if Pac can leverage that. So you get a +2 on your sneak roll. Difficulty's an 8 again because they are digging you all being there, but they're here with a purpose, and you're outsiders. Nice. So that's with Bob's +2, right? So you're at 9. So you are above the difficulty threshold, which is all you need.
Cool.
What are you doing as you're sneaking out? Like there's the site that you're in is a dried out riverbed. From all your travel so far on the surface, you can tell like flash floods probably happen seasonally around here, and the landscape changes quite a bit. So you don't think this site they've been in, they haven't made it through like even a season yet. There's some caves cut into the dugout of underneath the overhang. People have kind of come in and gone. There's some curtains hanging there, so you might explore those. There's the packages, some crates laying around that appear to be full of like food, maybe other supplies. What is interesting to Pac?
First the crates. Let's get in those, and then if that's still uneventful, then we'll go to the caves.
Yeah, I think
Packages?
the witch.
I want to check that out. Did you say something about packages?
Yeah, like there's the first thing is those big crates. You open or you start poking around in one that's open, and you see some foodstuffs. Think of like MREs, basically meals ready to eat type, prepackaged, long-term storage foods.
Okay. I opened one and started.
Actually, and it's definitely edible food. It's not anything spectacular, but it's to Pac. It's probably you could easily survive on this, right?
Can I like?
But then you also do, yeah. I mean, you have a pretty good sneak. You're able to. Najee was there. For rations, let's see markup. What do you think you could carry? What do you think you could add to your carry?
Mm,
Like another is rations. Like is that 5 that you have in one set? Doing double that?
yeah.
It's a fair.
And she reappears with a giant backpack.
You've overloaded your encumbrance. Now you can only step like at 2 miles per hour. No, so yeah, you load that up, and then I think you get into another crate, and what you find is an array of like surplus rifles. Most of them you don't think are in serviceable condition, and we're looking at like old like single shot like 22s. I don't know if like old maybe farmers pest control weapons. A huge step up from the tech level of this planet, but they don't look reliable. And you're able to gather from looking at them like they're different calibers. Like they're about the worst thing you can imagine to try and outfit an army. But they have quite a few of them. They have like probably two crates, a couple dozen rifles, mixed and matched.
Okay. Was it Najee that we spoke to when we were in the train?
Tani is JoJo's character, and Najee is Mike's character that's in town.
Okay. Mike's character.
Oh, and I radio you guys once they give me an estimate. Like I take a piss or something, and I message you guys and let you guys know, like, hey, like I'm gonna be there in 12 hours or whatever.
Okay. But I was gonna ask, when we were speaking on the train, when I was listening to the conversation or like somewhat part of it, and he mentioned, did he mention the shipment of weapons? And would this be the location where they were shipped? Did that deal go through? Or like, should I suspect that like this is the crate?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, no, this wouldn't be the crate that Mike sold. And I probably should, Mike. They've repacked the guns, and you're bringing them.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Mike's. Yeah, I had intended that to be there and didn't do it. But no, the guns that they've got here, this is really like crappy kit. That you do know that like the mining town is so poorly defended. Like all they have is that one fixed hinge to keep you out. These rifles would probably be enough to take that town over with a couple dozen people.
Don't they have weapons and stuff?
They have some storage lockers, but the idea that you got, or I think JoJo got from speaking to the pilot, was Cardenas Company doesn't want to give these guys really adequate weapons to protect themselves. So I think they had a couple of carbines and a couple of sidearms, but their job is to sound the alarm, and Cardenas Company will send overwhelming force out to like re-liberate the mining town, but they're not giving their own workers good weapons. You never arm the people that you're gonna have to like.
Yeah, they're gonna give them like just one step above the opposition, just enough to be a little bit of a force. And then they're going to keep all the power armor and crazy stuff to themselves aboard their ship where these guys can't reach it.
And if the mining town gets taken over, Cardenas Company is confident they can just throw in some guys and power armor with laser guns. We're taking our town back. We'll find 50 more yokels to stick out there. So yeah, the weapons that you find are not you're aware of the deal that Mike made. And this is not those weapons. What else are you looking for? Because you have plenty of time here to sneak around as Bob's checking. Did you go into the caves or?
Yeah, let's go check out the caves.
I think first of all, you kind of confirm the head count as you're seeing people come and go. If anybody looks toward you, you're just being very nonchalant, I think. It's not that you're not seen. People just aren't interested because Bob's captivating them. And you're able to confirm the head count. There's 12 people out here. Back in the caves, they have some supplies of the opiates. Quite a bit of stockpile of the opiates, and you find lists of the names of the people that work at the mine. And I don't have 50 names generated right now, but you find the lists of everybody who works at the mine.
Okay.
You find that
that with my smartphone.
Yeah. Like your camera phone. Murad's name is like double underlined and circled with a red pen.
Mhm.
He had named some names to you earlier of people that he's getting to smoke the drugs, and they're like little question marks next to some of those names. Not all of them, but some of the names that he had mentioned to you. Like you recognize, like, oh, that's probably what it means. Like they're getting influenced or exposed to the drugs. So like, yeah, you're in the cave, kind of drawing this conclusion. I think when the episode comes to a wrap. Any final things you guys want to do tonight before we close?
I can't think of anything.
Let's think about if we want to keep the group split as we're doing. We can, if that's what you guys are enjoying. Just for spotlighting, it's easier, I think, if we get the group back together.
Or at least if we can get into like 2 groups of 2 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were 3 and 1 last week, and now we're 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we had 2 and 2, that might be a little bit easier. And I definitely don't mean to say the group has to stay together. I'm not gonna like throw like, oh, now there's a great big space monster because you guys split. But just for spotlighting, it's more efficient to get at least a couple people together. Next week we'll have JoJo on the outside, but you guys will be at least closing in on one side. And you're at least at the camp. Let's look real quick at anybody have goals? I don't think anybody has gotten to their goals at this point.
Well, I could question them and ask about my sister. If they know anything about that. I mean, I don't think she's here.
Malika's here. Yeah. Let me think on that for next time, because I know I had it in my head, or we had talked about how you had some reason to believe she was here. That Cardenas Company got you to join them by saying they'd kind of put you toward her, and they had at least hinted that they thought she was here. So let me.
Well, maybe there's some clue. Maybe she was here and went further on the field, doing whatever the hell she does.
Actually, I like that. I like that a lot.
I have made a side profit off of this one.
Yeah. You haven't like made it rich, but your idea was just to turn a profit, right? So I think that was worth 150 or no, 1,500.
Yeah. Right.
No, is that what it was going to be?
I have no idea. What do you think? I'm supposed to write this stuff down? You're supposed to come up with names. We're both failing at our jobs.
Let's do 300 XP for having turned a profit.
I got a location. My old woman.
You're not quite on her yet. You are supposed to find the old woman. You're very close to her.
Really? Is she in one of these crates?
She's one of the old rifles.
She pops out like a Jack in the Box.
Okay,
I will say, like she's that goal is obtainable on the planet. If you guys.
So my next goal, what I would like to do here, is finish the mission without these people. I want to get all 5 stars on the mission completion, and so I want to do it like complete stealth. So I want to leave where they're still like, oh, I'm just glad he got away and can continue the fight.
So you want the Torch of Heaven to believe you're still loyal after doing whatever the group has to do.
Like he ran, but that's fine. Like he wasn't part of Cardenas.
Then I'm going to ask, and I will. This past weekend I didn't get my notes typed up, but I'll share them this week. And I'm going to ask you to consider like what bit of mythos or legend is built up around you already, like from your fight, from Amir seeing you, from like as they start like wanting to believe that you're something more than just another dude. Like what do you want them to start believing? And that's what you're gonna try and convince them of.
We'll see. Yeah.
Very good. Well, I think that's kind of all I have for tonight then. I'll get some notes shared up and we'll meet again next Thursday.
So,
Sounds good to
I
me.
can't be here next Thursday. I got to go to retirement party.
No.
Okay, well, happy retirement to whoever it is.
Yeah.
I missed them already.
He was more fired than retired, but that's the way it works in my place.
He was forcibly retired.
Well, he was fired, and then like he turned out he was unjustly fired, so he sued and got his pension and
retirement. Yeah.
All right, we'll throw you a
Andy
party.
can party. That's awesome.
Yeah, still suck.
Yep.
For 30 some odd years, he should have gotten, better.
I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear that. Well, hope all goes well. We will honor Gafar.
Well,
Folks
if you're
will be
still, I
distracted.
don't know what time it ends. So maybe I'll be able to pop in and say hi.
Yeah. Or just like text Andrew.
Hey,
what
guess what
what
I'm
you want
doing?
to do. I mean, just like send a message like, oh yeah, like he's going to be doing XYZ.
Yeah, that's what JoJo did. Is he just said like, I want to be in the mines. That's why. Yep, that's where he was. Very good. Well, you all have a good weekend or good rest of
Yep.
this week and weekend, and I'll see y'all next week.
Great.
See you later.
Take care. Night, people.